Hello everyone, it's me Rachit back here in another new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the fourth disrupting technology, blockchain. So, let's get started. What is blockchain? So, blockchain is like a record book. I'm pretty sure you guys know what's a record book. So, blockchain is a record book which stores transactions. Like transactions, so like financial transactions, like money transactions, Bitcoin transaction, cryptocurrency transaction, everything. It stores these transactions in a book, not like a book, like in a blockchain. I'll tell you what it is. So it's like a record book which stores all these transactions so that people can't change these transactions. No fraud or cheating can happen. So blockchain is like a safe and secure security technology that can prevent cheating, fraud between transactions. So let's go. So understanding blockchain blocks. So definition of a block. So blockchain blocks. So a block, it is, each block has a transaction record, okay, and it each has a unique hash code. Hash code are like digital fingerprints, like digital codes for each block to make it unique and different from every other block. So a block, so in summary, block stores a transaction record, and each transaction record or a block has a unique hash, so it can be different from others and it won't cause any like trouble. Components of a block. So a block is a body with transaction details. It has all the details of the transaction, the amount, the users with the involved in the transaction, everything. So how does blockchain work step by step? So transaction initiation. Okay, so blockchain, so decentralization. Blockchain operates on thousands of nodes. Nodes are computers, as I said. So they operate on thousands of nodes. It's not handled by a single person or a single computer. So it's very secure. Even like one computer, crashes out or it's damaged, other computers also have a copy of it. So like the records won't go away. So it's very safe and secure. Cryptographic security. So as I said, every block is secured with is kept with a hash code, right? So if if a hacker tries to change that hash code to make the transaction false and everything, if a hacker tries to change the hash code, then it ruins the entire blockchain. Then the system gets alerted, so it makes hacking nearly impossible. Transparency and immutability. So blocks cannot be changed. Once they are added to the blockchain, they cannot be changed. Making tampering. Tampering means like what do you call fraud, cheating, or anything like that. Making false transaction nearly impossible. It is very hard to make that because once a block is added, it cannot be changed, and it makes like tampering is like fraud within the transactions or interpreting with the transactions and everything, nearly impossible. Consensus mechanisms. So the nodes, they all come to an agreement. They all agree that nodes, the computers, they all agree that this transaction, they all validate this transaction, and if they all come to an agreement, this transaction is true, it's valid, so that the transaction can go through and no false transactions can happen or fraud transactions from being proceeded. So yeah, all the nodes come to an agreement that okay, this transaction is valid, let's keep it in a block, and so that no fraud or false transactions will happen and stop from being processed. So real world uses of blockchain. So finance and banking. So how does blockchain work step by step? So transaction initiation. So the two users initiate the transaction. They make the transaction happen, right? Like trading of Bitcoin, exchanging of Bitcoin, anything, a transaction. After that happens, it's broadcasted to the network, so everybody can see it, and it no cheating can happen. Validation and consensus. So nodes, as I said, there are thousands of computers. Basically, nodes are thousands of computers which use consensus mechanisms. Consensus means like which are conscious, like they keep on, like the nodes, they verify the transactions, like if they are a true transaction, like it should be a true transaction, so they verify the transaction, either it's true or false. If it's false, it just ignores it and it's not taken in. So yeah, the nodes, which are thousands of computers across various countries, uh, verify the transaction, validate the transaction to check if it's true. After that's done, so first we have the users did the transaction, it's broadcasted to the network, then the nodes verify this transaction. So like if it's true, it's a true transaction, not some false fraud transaction. So after that, the block is created. This what do you call, this transaction is put into a block, and that block, it has a is what do you call, it's kept a new hash code. The block gets a new hash code. Hash codes are like unique codes, basically like unique codes for each block, so it can be different from other blocks. So uh, so first, transaction initiation, two users do a transaction, it is broadcasted to the network, the nodes validate this transaction, and then the validated transaction is put into a block, and that block has a special code, it's called the hash. And then this block is added to the blockchain are like many blocks grouped together. And then each of the participant is like the users which did the transaction will get a copy of the updated blockchain, so they can see that the transaction actually happened. So yeah, that's how blockchain works. Revolutionizing finance with instant payments and cost reduction. So it revolutionizes finance and upgrades finance and banking. It brings new aspects of it, like finance and banking. It doesn't require a middleman like the bank to verify the transaction. Blockchain can verify it. It's very cheaper, and it's much faster than traditional banking. Supply chain management. So like your delivery trucks, okay, like Amazon, Flipkart, everything, it delivers you this products which you ordered, right? So the factory or you can track the order, you can see the order where it is, and you can know where it is, you can track the order. That's also because of blockchain. It keeps the details of the tracking, like the details of the delivery truck, where it is in the blockchain, so you can know where it is on your digital phone. Healthcare. So it stores, like healthcare, it stores the details of the patients, like his health conditions, his or her health conditions, so the doctor can easily access the channel, so he can know what how's his health and everything. Even even we can know how the health of the patient is, if the patient is related to us. So voting systems. So blockchain keeps these voting systems, the details of the voting and everything, in a private, blockchain. It keeps it very secure, so like hackers can't change the voting, increase the voting or decrease the voting. So advantages and challenges of blockchain. There are many advantages as well as challenges. So let's go through them. Advantages. So yeah, the advantages basically talk about like the security blockchain offers, like the enhanced security, the transparency, and how efficient it is, and reducing costs and everything. It just basically says how secure it is and safe it is. And also the initiatives which global governments are taking to make blockchain technology better, and also to create uncertainty so that people can't know on some aspects. Challenges. So blockchain faces challenges such as scalability issues basically mean they can't scale much, like the blockchain can't go like expand too many transactions, like it can't handle too many transactions, like every second, like there's phone pay, everything, all these transactions every single second. So blockchain can't handle many transactions, so that faces one scalability issues like that. And all of this, keeping it in blocks, chains and everything, the instant transactions, too much energy is it's consumed, yeah, like that. And scalability solutions. So like scalability solutions, so there are new technologies such as proof of stake. These new technologies are much faster and cheaper than blockchain. So yeah, the solutions for these challenges, basically it's saying there are new technologies of blockchain or outside of blockchain which are much faster and better than blockchain. So yeah, okay guys, thank you very much for joining me in this session. Hopefully you understood what blockchain is, and stay tuned for the next disrupting technology. Until then, bye bye.